Denby Dale was one of the first houses in the UK to be built to the German Passivhaus standard. 5 years on, I want to know what the house has been like to live in and whether it's saved energy as expected.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you very much.
In you come.
Wow, here we are.
Denby Dale Passivhaus.
Very nice.
Kate.
Nice to meet you.
How do you do?
Yeah, very well, very well. One of the things that I wanted to do was to ask you a few questions about energy efficiency and how far you can take it, because to the self-builder who's coming in and not knowing anything, it's tricky.
Absolutely. Well, in some respects it wasn't tricky for us. Obviously we had the Green Building Store, they were doing the PHPP on the performance. So the early doors they were saying that it would be energy efficient. But even then we didn't know what it was going to be, it was all words. But for 5.5 years now we've lived in here, and it's aired, it's warm, it's comfortable.
I mean, what we didn't realise, I think, before, we knew it was going to be an energy efficient house and we were prepared for that. But once living in the house itself, then you grow to understand how much more comfortable a house it is to live in, how much healthier it is, because your air is filtered with the triple glazing. It's a very quiet atmosphere, a very tranquil place to live.
So this is really good. What I like about this is that you've got a nice open plan area, but what else did you want to achieve with this house?
Well, because it's Passivhaus and because the temperature is much the same anywhere within the house, we could make it open plan. And the beauty of open plan is that it opens out what is quite a modest house. And you've got a good floor space, and it's a lovely space to be in. The other thing we wanted was the sun space, which gives lots of light, even on the dullest of days, because what we wanted was the light to permeate all the way through the house. Because we knew it was going to be airtight, what we wanted was to have natural materials that wouldn't be issuing any gases that might be poisons or whatever. So we wanted to keep it simple, natural, minimal and comfortable. The light that comes in and the sunshine all the year round, you've got control of it. In midwinter, I can be sat in a chair here, 23, 24, 25 degrees of sunshine with 6 inches of snow outside. Brilliant. Do you want to go upstairs?
Yeah, please.
So this is our bedroom. What we really like
Yes, that's
is
good,
this view out over the rooftops, the sun space.
Yeah.
You can see why.
That's really good.
Well, we've only got a small house, but with a space like this, it makes it feel so much bigger.
I think what I like is that you've used the space so well. How big is this and how did you make it work so well together?
The floor is 108 square metres. But as I say, downstairs we've open plan, which opens it out and makes it feel bigger. Upstairs we went for small rooms. I think with Passivhaus, because you've got the same temperature everywhere, because you've got the light streaming in, it's a very usable house everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we were restricted with the plot, the size of the plot, so you have to work with what you've got. We were looking at somewhere to retire to, so we're not looking for a big house. But like you say, if you try and have something like open plan, then it makes what you've got look that little bit bigger.
The house still looks and feels great, but what about the crucial energy bills? How have the last 5 years been here?
5 years of really warm, comfortable, economic. £120 a year is what it's cost for warmth and comfort. It's more than exceeded our expectations. It's been excellent.
What didn't occur to us until we actually lived in the house was how comfortable it was, how much better the air quality is, and with the triple glazing it's very quiet, so you do get a very tranquil house. So it's a healthier house than we'd lived in previously, for sure. We don't have things like mould, obviously. So yes, we're very pleased with it.
Well, you notice it when we've been away.
Yes.
We stayed in a cottage, a lovely cottage in Zena in Cornwall, lovely place. But it was October time, and it was cold, it was drafty, and we were feeding the electric meter as if there was no tomorrow. And we looked at each other and said, well, we know why we're here for the countryside, but goodness me. When we got back, we walked into the house and we walked into 21 degrees again. And it's when you go away and you come back, you realise how good the performance is.
What would you do differently if you did all this again with all this knowledge?
I don't think we'd have done anything differently from what we did.
No.
We did put underfloor heating in the kitchen and upstairs in the bathroom because we weren't sure of the performance. We've never switched it on, so it's something we didn't need to do. So I suppose you could say, yes, that's something we do differently.
Finally, what do the builders of the UK's first cavity wall passive house think of the house? Looking at Denby Dale passive house, it's an excellent building, but this was a landmark for you too, wasn't it?
I think this house was pivotal for us because we'd already thought about passive house. We knew it was the right way to go, but we needed to be able to actually build one and learn the lessons that everybody needs to learn. And this house gave us that opportunity. So it really was absolutely essential for us to move forward as a company.
Having built Denby Dale Passive House, do you actually view construction differently afterwards?
Since then, we've been focusing on Passive House and all the lessons you learn from Passive House and to take into construction, and that really has shaped our whole business.
Going forwards, can you see, is this just going to grow and grow and grow?
I hope Passive House is going to grow. We need Passive House, or we need low energy buildings, and Passive House are the best way of delivering low energy buildings. So I desperately hope it's going to grow. Obviously the real challenge is in retrofitting all our 26 million buildings around the country, and Passive House has a huge part to play there, because once we learn to do this, we begin to get the expertise to begin to approach doing retrofit properly. Without this, you can't do the retrofit. So it really has been the beginning of everything for us, and for a lot of people, because it's inspired a lot of people to go down this route and to begin at this point.